thinking about the audience of folks watching this, at least some of them will be people like you, founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs. So what advice would you give them about the need for a strategic narrative, the process, anything that you've learned that you think might help other people?
If you don't feel comfortable with what you've got, then you probably need to do something about it.
Now, does that refer to the starting point, or if you're halfway through and you don't love what you have?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think either both. If your instinct is telling you it doesn't work, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't corral the team in the right direction, then you're almost certainly right. Yeah. And you need to deal with it. And whether it's a tweak because you're only a few degrees off, a reset, refresh, or whether it's a complete rethink, it almost doesn't matter. The point is your instinct's almost certainly right, and therefore it's hurting your business, and you need to get to it. And too many times in my career, I've put it off. Yes,
someone else I spoke to in a similar situation to yours said it was something that had been bothering him for a while. And then he started to realize that when he heard other people describe his company, the company that they worked in, he would cringe. And he realized that the analogy was, it was sort of an invisible anchor holding them back, when it really should be more of a sail catching the wind, the messaging and the strategic narrative. So I think the way you said it and the way he said it so far are my two favorite ways of saying what the challenge and the opportunity are of tackling this. So thank you. So I was in a meeting the other day it was sort of a roundtable with some technology founders and CEOs. And when the subject came up of vision, there were at least two of the folks on this Zoom meeting said, yeah, you know what, execution and traction solve all those questions about vision. Now, if you had been sitting there on that same call, would you have agreed with that? Or would you have counseled them a little bit like, well, let me just give you our experience. I didn't say much. I was not there to pitch anything, but I did find myself wondering, how would someone like Peter respond who's been through this process?
So with respect to the guys that said that, who I don't know, I think I've been in that misplaced place previously. Okay. And they're wrong.
So they're about to hit some quicksand or something that you've already been through. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
So therefore,
now I can send them this video.
That's right. I'm thinking exactly. So I'm thinking back to why did I react that way? Probably because I didn't have the space to think differently. And it could be because you're too in the weeds, things are moving too fast, or the last thing in the world you want is to get involved in that kind of brain space whiteboarding thinking session, because you might be fearful of where it's going to land. And so maybe it's just a point in time, but there's certainly been points in my last 10 years of this journey where I didn't want to entertain that discussion. I've literally never thought about it until you bring it up, Bob. That said, I always knew, if you like, I always understood the theory was probably right. You still need to have a clear vision and idea, supporting mission that everyone's pulling against the same direction. Sometimes it was hard to get to it.
It's always very fun to talk to you, and I hope we'll catch up again soon, and you'll keep me posted on things.
You got it. Will do. Thanks very much, Bob.